to the Female Thought Leader interview series. I'm Melissa Groom, the Visibility Mentor, and I'm here today with my very special guest, Julie Kay. Julie is a spiritual profiler and mentor, and she teaches you self-love and self-acceptance so that we can be the person that we were born to be. So welcome, Julie.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. It's lovely to be here, and thank you for having me.
So let me ask you first up, Julie, what is it that really breaks your heart?
What I'm really passionate about and what absolutely breaks my heart, Melissa, is that people that get stuck in their emotional hell, and therefore they're not living their dreams because they're creating through either the law of attraction or through their own behaviour and their emotional reactions, that a life that, you know, is either devoid of relationships, they're not on their path, they're not in their happiness because their emotions and their ego side of self is really keeping them stuck. So that really breaks my heart, because this is such a beautiful place. The world is such a beautiful place. It's such a gift to be here. And so when we have self-love and self-acceptance, we can love anything. We see the world in a completely different way. And so that's what my passion is, to awaken that in everyone.
Beautiful. And it's easier for some than others to have self-love. And the work that you do through spiritual profiling, tell me about that, because some people wouldn't know about that. What is spiritual profiling?
Well, spiritual profiling is a modality. It has its basis in numerology, but it uses my very specific profiling system, which helps people identify, what it is that's actually keeping them stuck. So we all get our buttons pushed, and, that is the universe's way of saying, here, this is what I'm showing you, you need to grow and evolve within yourself. And it usually, when you delve into that, it'll be this underlying emotional filter and perception, the way that we see the world, which is being triggered and that then relates back to what you're actually learning, which is what we call your soul lessons. So spiritual profiling actually helps you identify the stuff that's keeping you stuck, the emotional pattern that's keeping you stuck. And once you know what that is, and it'll be playing out in your life over and over as a repeated pattern, once you know what that pattern is, you can start to change it.
Yeah. So tell me, if we were at a family function and we got triggered or something like that, what's something that we could do to cope in that situation?
Your first step is always, regardless, is find your balance. I mean, we can't do any inner work if we're not balanced. So my advice is always find your balance first. So whatever makes you feel calm in that situation. So whether that's breathing, whether that's just taking yourself away from the situation, and, finding your feet, like deep breathing, balancing, finding your feet. But it's important then afterwards though, Mel, to be able to have that hissy fit. And because in that hissy fit is where you're going to find the gold, because that's where the universe is trying to show you exactly what it is you're here to learn. And the spiritual profiling can definitely help you identify that a lot clearer.
Yeah. And it's a process that's quick and pain-free. Like, tell me, how does it work?
Yep, the profiling can be done many different ways. I mean, I have the book, The Lessons of Love and Life, which you can self-profile. You can do a profiling session with me. So it's basically a series of questions which help you identify the actual emotional pattern by then me going back and profiling with your actual spiritual profile. So it'll help you identify the patterns there. Or, then there's other things, like there's workshops and the Shift Sanctuary that I do as well.
So once you uncover the thing that's blocking you, then what do you do with those answers?
Well, we're ever evolving. So And you've probably heard this before, we're like an onion layer. We peel off one layer and there's another one underneath. And that's what evolving is. Evolving is peeling off a layer, getting to another level, peeling off another layer and getting to another level. So these soul lessons have many layers to them. But if you know what the actual pattern is, it's easier to peel off that layer. So it stops us having the reactions to life so much, because we start to take responsibility for whatever's showing up and whatever's being created in our life. So we gradually evolve and we learn how to not so much have that hissy fit, not allow whatever's happening to rob us of our happiness and our joy, but to unpack it, learn what we're here to learn, and move forward in more peace.
Yes. So the whole purpose in your perspective of why we're actually here is different for everyone, right? Everybody has a different reason for being here in this particular lifetime. And they play a different role, even not only for themselves, but for those all around them.
Yeah. My belief, Mel, everything's connected. So us here on the earth plane, we're here for a reason, a purpose. And our purpose is also sort of connected to other people too. So we're helping other people evolve. And whether that's through button pushing or actually inspiring others, we're still helping someone else grow. And when we help others grow, we help the earth plane grow, which helps the spirit realms grow, which helps the God consciousness or the creative energy, whichever way you want to look at it, grow as well. So we play a very important part in a much bigger picture, I believe, just by being here and taking responsibility for ourselves and evolving ourselves. Because really, that's the only person that we can evolve here.
Yes. And I think, taking responsibility for where we're at and what's happening around us or what's going on in our life is massive, because a lot of people just think they're unlucky or they don't realise that they're playing a role in what is actually going on.
Yeah. So an example for that, which may help people sort of understand that a little bit better, is that, bad stuff happens in this world. Bad stuff happens on the earth plane. And, a lot of it we don't ask for, okay? But, I'm talking more about our relationships with people that we deal with, okay? So that's where we learn most of our soul lessons. But also, by evolving our self-love, by evolving our happiness, we can respond to stuff that happens to us a lot differently. So instead of allowing something that's bad, that's, out of our control to absolutely destroy us, we can evolve out of that unhappiness and continue to move on. So it becomes an attitude rather than, an attitude of being a victim. It becomes an attitude of being a thriver. And, and the people that are around you, the relationships that you're having, and that doesn't matter whether it's someone on the bus that pushes your buttons, the checkout chick is being a pain in the bum, or your kids or your partner. Everyone that pushes your buttons is showing you something about yourself. And if we can evolve out of that reaction and look at it more clearly and go, well, hang on a minute, they're actually teaching me to be more confident and to stand up for myself. That could be one of your lessons, or they could be teaching you if your soul lesson is a 4, you're a supporter. That maybe I should be supporting myself a little bit more, and rather than wearing myself thin and overly supporting everyone else. So just depending on what your emotional pattern is, it's going to be shown to you every day through the people around you.
Mm-hmm. So through either your book or doing sessions with you, people can really discover how to accept, make sense of what's happening around them, and instead of being in a place of pain and struggle and feeling blocked, because when we're in that pain and struggle, we are stuck and we're not out there living our life and following our dreams and living our passion. So through working with you, we then dissolve, or
Yeah, you evolve, you dissolve the stuff that's holding you back. You can't dissolve something if you don't know it's there. If
yes,
you don't know what your emotional pattern is, you can't actually fix it. You can't move on for it. And that's why people repeat the same thing over and over again, because they don't understand what that underlying pattern is, that trigger that underlines everything. So that's what it is. But it's also, you know, we're here to evolve. We're here to be happy, and we're here for self-love. So basically, it gives you freedom. It gives you emotional freedom to be able to move forward in life and get out of that unstuckness.
Yes, yeah, I love it. So your role is so important. You've been doing this for quite a long time now.
I have. I've actually been doing spiritual profiling for over 2 decades, and I've worked in my business. This is my business. It's the only business I've had for since 2006, so 14 years this year. So it's been going strong, and it's absolutely my passion. And like I said, it breaks my heart that this information is there, and we do have a choice. We can live in and be the victim of life and live in the trauma of it, or we can evolve ourselves, heal ourselves, and become the survivor, which then leads to us becoming the thriver.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm sure there's so many people that really need to hear this message, that there actually is hope, and there is a choice, and there is another way. So you've written a couple of books, I know, because I've got them on my bookshelf.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your books?
Yep. So the one that I'm really passionate about, and the one that I feel is the latest one, which is The Lessons of Love and Life. And because this one, to me, really takes that message and puts it into a written form. So I actually got this out and started reading it again myself this morning, because I know you and I have had that discussion about articulating my message. So I got my book out, and I thought I articulated that really well in the book. So better than I could actually speak it. So I absolutely am very proud of this book, The Lessons of Love and Life. I feel like it's definitely my best work so far.
Yeah.
And the other books is Soul Lesson to Soulmate, which again, it looks at the spiritual profiling and how that can keep love relationships from you, and the part that you can play in that, and how you can learn to attract a relationship in your life. Yeah. And then there's The Missing Link, which I wrote back in 2007, which is just a really simple book. It's very, very simple. It's just, it doesn't really contain a lot of information, but the information that it does have brings together our 3 systems of self, so mind, body and soul. So it's just an overview of those. Mm.
Would you mind just reading the little foreword for The Lessons of Love and Life?
Yeah, I can do that.
And it clearly states what it is that you help people with and how you help them.
Okay, so the preface of The Lessons of Love and Life is, this book will help you delve deep into the deepest part of your being and uncover things that you may never have even noticed. The Lessons of Love and Life will take you on an inner journey through your unique soul lesson and profiling system that will help you learn about your own emotional patterns and behaviours, as well as how they may be affecting and creating the very circumstances from which you're trying to rid your life. Once you understand yourself from this much deeper level, and once you make conscious contact with what life is trying to make known to you every day, then through these teachings you will finally discover what has been holding you back for all these years and change it. So I feel like that's probably, there's more there, but I feel like that's the key, that's definitely the key message of what this is all about.
Yeah.
And what I'm all about.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now you also hold 3-day shift sanctuaries up at your home there in the Bowen Basin. Do you want to just quickly tell our viewers about that?
Yes, the shift sanctuaries are my baby, and the reason that I bought this beautiful home with right on the ocean here in the Whitsundays. It's a training that I've been holding since 2004, 2014, the first one was. It was held as the Love Life Retreats. We changed the name to the Shift Sanctuaries because that's what people were doing. They were having major shifts in their life. So we changed it to the Shift Sanctuary. So these are 3-day living retreats where you're not only given the information, you're actually taken through it. So you're actually, it's not you come here and meditate and have good food. There is part of that in there, healthy food. There is actually work where you get to face yourself. You get to face your demons. And you get to learn how to look at life from a completely different level. So it works on the 3 pillars of awareness. You can't change something unless you're not aware of it. The healing, that's the second day. It's all about healing. It's all about understanding how to heal. And the third day is all about empowering yourself. So when you go home, you have that different way all set up, all in place. So you can move forward as soon as you get home.
Sounds amazing.
There's a lot of information on my website about the Shift Sanctuaries, and there's a lot of testimonials from the ladies that have already done them. They are very small retreats, maximum of 5, because this is deep stuff. This is stuff where you face yourself. So 5 people allows me to get through everyone and to make sure that everyone gets exactly what they need.
Just beautiful. Now, Julie, you are also starting your own online show, Be Your Own Guru TV, and you have your own Facebook group, I believe, where you share daily guided messages and inspiration.
That's it. Yep, I do. Be Your Own Guru TV. So it is Be Your Own Guru TV. There are a couple of Be Your Own Guru groups. So mine is TV. And on the 1st of January, we started the year with a daily guidance. So every morning at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, depending on where you are, daily guidance comes through to help you start your day positively focused. So it's free to join, and would love, it's quite a new group, but it would love your viewers or our viewers to come along and get some daily inspiration.
So who is the group for? Who's the group for? And
the group is for all my fellow seekers, or all our fellow seekers, those that are seeking the meaning to life, those that are seeking more self-empowerment, those that are seeking self-love, those that are seeking love, full stop. So yeah, that's who the group's for.
Love and joy. So those who are seeking more love and joy in their life and want to
and how to make a conscious connection to their inner world too, because that inner world is your spirit and is the universe. So there's also inspiration and guidance to do that.
And learning how to discover who you truly are.
Absolutely.
And then how to like as you say in your book, lessons of love and life, and how to free yourself from those emotional things, triggers and traumas that hold you back from living your very best life.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that programming, that emotional triggers that we have been carrying all our life is what robs us from our happiness. Yes. So it is very important that we heal that. This is a plane where, like I said, excuse my French, but bad shit happens to good people. Okay, but that is not, we can take that personally, or we can understand that there may be karma involved. Yeah. And we can also then go, well, what did I learn out of it? How can I grow out of this? How can I be that thriver, that person that, I know I am in here?
Yes. And if you don't do it for yourself at first, I'm just talking to our viewers right now, do it for your children, because every child deserves a happy mum. And I was at that place many years ago, and I thought, well, of course I wanted self-love and I wanted joy, but I looked at my children growing up and I thought they deserve a happy mum. So I need to do that inner work to be that example. And it doesn't mean that sometimes you're not happy and sometimes you don't have triggers, because things happen to us all the time. it's upskilling, and it's you're constantly, as Julie says, evolving and transforming and understanding why you're actually here. And since I've done a lot of healing and inner work, it's allowed me to then go out into the world and do what I know I was born to do, which is to bring thought leaders and change makers out into the world, into the light, so that they can share their key message with the world and reach the people that really need their help.
And my next book is all about the children. So our children are also here to learn, and we try and help them with their learnings, but they're going to have their own perception, their own soul lessons. And a good role model for our children is to be happy, because we teach them through our actions more than our words. So if we can make ourselves happy, we're teaching our children to be happy, because they're still going to learn their lessons. They've still got their own stuff they're here to do, but at least they have been taught that it's possible to be happy. It's possible to be balanced. We can teach our children that, but we teach it through showing them in ourselves rather than telling them.
And through our actions. I know for me, my dad has passed over now, but he just loved life. He loved people. He travelled the world. He travelled Australia many times. He went on ski trips with the kids. Spent many times camping with the grandchildren. He just, if you could think of the person who could pack as much living into one life, that was my dad, and overflowing. And so I used to always look at him and as a shining example, and not to say that his life was all smooth. Dad went through 3 marriages and he battled with skin cancer, but he still, right to the very day that he passed, was the very week, I should say, that he passed in palliative care, was still making jokes.
And he was living his purpose.
Yeah.
He was being happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is definitely a part of our purpose, is to be happy.
And he gave so much love, to his 3 wives and to his children and his grandchildren. And yeah, that was his gift to us. Yeah.
And that is an inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Julie, for being part of our Female Thought Leader interview series. You are doing amazing work in the world and really truly making a difference.
Thank you, Mel, and thank you for having me, and thank you to everyone who has watched this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll put all the details for Julie's website, Facebook group, and Facebook page down below. So have an amazing day, and remember to go out there and live the life of your dreams, because you deserve it. You are worthy of that joy and that love. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.